Hey everyone, we're here today in the backyard garden. We have got a lot of requests over the last several weeks doing some of our TikTok lives and stuff about my self-composting garden beds. So I have went ahead and prepped everything here for us to kind of go through this process. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of what this is, and I'm going to show you how you can install your own, okay? So all this is just a regular 4-inch piece of PVC pipe with a screw coupler on the top. And then it's just a hollow tube. So what we do is we throw our composting scraps in here. And then through that process, we have worms that we put in our bed. And what the worms will do is they'll come into this tube with the holes that we drill in it, like right here. So we'll drill a series of holes in these tubes. And then what happens is the worms will go into that tube, eat up all that table scraps and the composting items that we put into there. And they go back out into our beds and they drop all their worm castings into the beds. And then also through that process, they're creating tunnels and everything in that bed. So they're providing aeration into our bed, and then also they're providing drainage in the bed for water. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how we set one of these up. Typically we would install these before the bed's built. I did that with this bed, but this bed over here to my side, this one does not have one in it currently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can retrofit your bed to accept one of these. And then same process would work if you're building a new bed. It's just a lot easier if it's a new bed. So I'll show you that process. So like I said, just get a regular piece of 4-inch pipe. This just happens to be Schedule 40 pipe. It doesn't need to be Schedule 40. It can be whatever you have. This doesn't even necessarily need to be a 4-inch pipe. I like the 4-inch pipe because some of the composting things are a little bigger, so it allows more room in there, and it also allows more room in the tube for the worms to actually work. You can do a smaller tube, but I don't think I'd go any smaller than 4-inch. But if that's all you have, then don't go out and buy it just to buy it. If you have something, we can let that work. So what you want to do is you want to have a general idea of how tall your bed is and how high you want it to stick up. So in most cases, I like it to be a little bit high just to allow for air in there. So, and it also depends on how deep you want to dig and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna, these beds are 2 foot tall. So I'm gonna go about cut this, then I'll dig out and we'll go from there. So check back, and there'll be a few minutes for me. It'll just be a second for you, but I'll get this cut and then I'll show you that process.
A few moments later.
Okay, we're back. Here's the pipe. I cut it and then I put this cap on. So what this is just a standard clean out cap that you would use for like a sewer line. So it just slides on. You don't have to glue it. We're not holding water or anything. But the important thing is to make sure that you have one of these caps that screw on. Okay? So that's the important part, is that you can seal this up. So we got that installed. The next thing is to drill all the holes. So what you want to do is you want to have a bit that's at least 3/8 of an inch. I try. You can go a little bigger if you need to. Those to go in and out, so you don't have to do anything crazy. Now, if you're just going to go to like Walmart or someplace like that and just buy regular, red worms or regular like bait worms, you can do that. There's nothing that says that you can't do that. That's more than acceptable. I particularly buy these. I get these from Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. So, right here, Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. Hold on. I don't want to lose any of my worms. Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. That's where I get these from. Click the link here and down in the video description. I have an affiliate link that I got set up with Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. So if you're going to go over and check out and buy any of their product, please use that link. That then comes back to me and helps me a little bit. And it also allows me to track what kind of, traction I'm getting from these videos. And it kind of lets me know how many of you guys are, looking at that kind of stuff. It helps me really dial in on my videos. And then it also creates a little bit of income for me too. And I'll be honest with you, all the money I make from that affiliate link is going to go right back into buying stuff from Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. So it's not like it's a whole lot of money in my pocket. It's just allowing me to buy worms. So what you want to do is just come a couple inches up from the bottom here and just drill a hole. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. We're not doing anything special. we're just putting holes in the pipe. So, and you want to kind of do that same sequence, just random holes all the way up the pipe. So check back in just a moment. It'll be a few minutes for me, but it'll be a second for you. We'll get this all done, and then I'll show you the next step.
A few moments later.
All right, everyone, you can see here I got that series of holes drilled in here. There's no real rhyme or reason, just sporadic, because you want them at all different levels, because the worms, so the brighter the sun and everything, the deeper those worms are going to go. And the hotter it is, the deeper the worms are going to go. So on really hot, sunny days, the worms will go deeper. On cool, cloudy days, the worms will be higher. So you want to make sure that they can get in and out of this tube in all different areas. So what we'll do is, typically we would install this, consider like if this was the inside, I would mount this like this and just be done, okay? But unfortunately, this bed's already here. We built this bed a couple years ago, and I never installed this at the time because I didn't have a piece, but I needed to get the bed built because I had all the dirt in the truck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig out a portion of this, and I'll show you, because you can also retrofit any bed that you have already. So it's not like you have to do this always on a brand new build. You can do this if you already have a bed built. So the main thing is you just want to find a good spot to put it. I put all mine on the edges. I don't know why I do that. Every bed has them somewhere on the edge. On these big 4x8, I always stick them on the 4-foot side. I don't know why. I just always have. So all you want to do is just make sure that you're digging enough room basically to get that pipe in there. So what we'll do is we'll just dig a chunk of this out, and we'll just pile up all this dirt off to the side because we don't want to lose this. And then we'll put this tube in the ground. So give me just a few moments here. I'll get this all dug up, and then I'll show you how to go about putting it in. Okay, we got the tube in. So if you take a look, we got the tube buried. Main thing is just make sure you're below those holes that you had dug, you had drilled. So now what I'll do is, it's pretty simple at this point. You can just shoot a screw in it. You can leave it go however you want. I have a couple of screws. I don't know if they're long enough. No. All right, well, forget that. We're not going to put a screw in it. You don't have to. The dirt will hold it in. But just make sure you pack back around it. So we're just going to pack all this dirt that we dug out back around it. And you're definitely going to have extras because now you displaced all this dirt. But the one thing you don't want to do is pack it in there real hard, because you still want to make sure that those worms can get in there. So now you can see, got a tube buried in here. It's ready to go. So now the next thing, the important thing, twofold, the compost and the worms. So this is just a quick, don't know why that paper towel's there. We don't need that. Ouch. So this is just a quick thing on composting. Anything, these are banana peels. You can use these. This is one of the cardboard pieces that come from the coffee shop. This is all compostable. So all this brown, all my trimmings, when I trim my plants, all that I put into the compost. So shredded paper, the junk mail it comes, you can throw it through a paper shredder. All that is good composting that can be used inside these beds. So what I'll do here is I'll just give you a quick rundown of how we do it. So we'll just take this lid off, and now this is one of my son's jobs, is he will come out. Oh. There we go. My son will send him out and tell him to split stuff up between the tubes, and that's what he'll do. He'll come out and put things in the tubes. So we'll throw a couple browns in there, throw some of these banana peels in there. That's it. So all of your guys' composting, just throw it in there. Now what I'll do is I'm going to set this off to the side because I have another one over here that I want to put some in. But now this is the next part, the really important part to the composting is you got to have worms that will help compost it. Because the whole point in what we're doing here is allowing this compost to break down into worm castings. So we want those worm castings. We want those worms to eat that and bring it back out into my bed so they can bring all those worm castings out as fertilizer. They'll break this down, they'll eat it, they'll go out in my bed, they'll poop in the bed, they drop all their castings in the bed. So, let me just get a handful of these worms out for you. Like I said, Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. There'll be a link down below in the description where you can go online. I'll have that affiliate link set up. That'll help me out. Want to see inside? I'll get a big old handful of them for you. So here's red wigglers. Those are what we're after. Man, it feels so weird crawling through your hands. My wife's freaking out holding that camera.
A few moments later.
All right, so you can see here, this is what you want to do with these. Don't take the worms and dump them directly in here. They will find the compost. You don't want to bury them. You want them to be able to find their own way down into this tube. I will throw a couple in here just because I always have, but for the most part, you want to put them right here in front of that food source. So you can see all these guys are trying to get out of this light. Right here, you can see they're starting to bury down because they don't want to be out in this light. They don't want to be above the ground. So they're going to work their way down, work their way down. So this is a 5-pound bag of worms here. So I'll split this bag between both my beds, and that'll be plenty for what we're trying to get done here today. If I find that I lose a lot of worms because I'm not feeding them enough or things like that, what I'll do is I will order more throughout the year if I need to. But typically I don't need to order more because they will stay, and year after year they'll reproduce and stay in the bed. So typically I don't have an issue where I'll run out. But like I said, check out Uncle Jim Worm Farm's website. Hit that affiliate link, go over and check their stuff out. If you make an order, try to use that affiliate link. It really helps me. So thanks everyone. So what we'll do is we'll throw some more worms out here. So if you want to get in here and see how wiggly these red wigglers are. And this is exactly how they come to me. They come in this like peat, and inside this peat is also some feed to help them. So I have never, ever had a situation where I have gotten worms and they've been dead. So I know they have a great policy if that happens, but over all the last 15 years of us buying worms from Uncle Jim's, I've never had a single worm, a bag of worms come in that were dead. So definitely give these guys a shot. Take a look at what they're offering. They have some great stuff. Also, if you want to grow your own worms, you can buy their kits from them. So they have several different varieties of kits that you can buy off their website for outdoor or indoor, either way. So you can do an outdoor worm farm or an indoor worm farm. And they also sell the feed and the bedding to put in those. They have some really good YouTube videos as well. If you have any questions on growing your own, they have some good resources over there. Great people, been buying from them, like I said, 15 years and absolutely love them. So what we want to do now is we want to get, take a picture. We want to get this next set in here. Now we're going to do the same as we did over there, where we're just going to take them and put them right on the ground right here in front. And then also I'm going to take just a small handful and put them in all my other beds, just because it's been a couple years since I put worms in these other beds. Now there are plenty of worms in them, but I do want to make sure that we're keeping up a good healthy population of worms. So we'll just throw another handful here. And like I said, this is a new bed, so I'm going to be a little heavier here than I would be on any of my other ones. But you can see there's a lot of worms here. A lot of worms come in these bags. So we'll just go around to each of these other beds real quick and just do a quick handful in front of each one of these other beds. Just nice handful there. Nice handful there. And this back here, this is our original bed that we did this with. This is the first one that we ever did our self-composting bed. So, and we'll finish them off like that. Other nice thing is these burlap bags that their stuff come in are really great. I use these to save like my, I'll put my garlic bulbs and my onion seeds and stuff, and I'll save them in these because it's nice, cool, dark, hang it up in the basement. I can save those seeds for next year. These bags are really good to be reused. So I really appreciate everybody hanging out on this video. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch it. Please leave a comment. If you got any questions in the bottom of the video, leave a comment. Give it a heart, subscribe, all the stuff, right? Subscribe, heart, like. Make sure you check out that affiliate link. Go check out Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. Like I said, top-notch people. You're not going to get better service than you will from these people. I do have the affiliate link, so this isn't a sponsored ad. I'm just saying I have an affiliate link. So go check those guys out. They have some great product. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Check out one of these other videos. Have a wonderful day.